My top grouping stays largely the same. I did flip A&M and Oklahoma. Oklahoma didn't play. A&M got a pretty big win at home, but as an A&M fan, I want to see more consistency from the group and less penalties, and I've still not seen that. So that's unfortunate. The big droppers, Penn State and Texas, both dropped fully out. Second loss for Texas. They have massive issues with their team currently. And at this point in the season, I'm not sure they're going to get fixed. And then Penn State took one of the worst losses in recent history on the road at UCLA. That's just inexplainable. You can't excuse it. Unexcusable is what I was looking for.
Yep.
Just cannot happen. So there's some movement. Notre Dame is climbing. A bunch of people are climbing because of it. Missouri jumped 7 is another big jumper. UVA is up to 14 after a road win at Louisville. I loved what I saw there. Illinois is climbing back. Iowa State only dropped them 6 for their loss. I'm pretty high on Cincinnati. They joined the rankings. And so I wasn't going to punish them too much for losing that game on the road by one score. BYU joins the rankings for the first time this season for me. They've not really played anyone yet, but they've not lost yet, so I will reward that currently.
The exact same boat they were in last year.
Correct. And then Washington rejoins the rankings after pulling off a win against Maryland. So happy to see them back as a Washington fan. Thoughts, concerns, disagreements,
No, I'm not going to.
angers.
Nope. 0 angers. Chippy?
The school up north is too high.
Okay.
But that's just because I hate them.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
no disagreement there. I know, obviously, you have Ohio State over Miami. What is your argument for Ohio State over Miami?
I've watched the games, and that Ohio State defense is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
And that's the best unit in football. And the offense is not too shabby either. I've liked what I've seen from Julian Sayin in the running game and that offensive line. So, yes, the Texas the Texas win has lost some shine, but that's still the best team in football to me. So that's why I still have them 1.
All right.
Down with that. I'd also would have Missouri a few spots higher, specifically over those 3 teams that have lost a game.
Fair. In my mind, it's like I think I'm been a little late coming around to the Missouri train. I still would like to see them beat a legit, really good team.
Sure.
But I jumped them up 7, and I'm looking to keep moving them up more as the season progresses.
They'll move
But
up
that's
after
fair.
this week.
Yeah. Okay. Who's next?
Spoiler alert. I'll take the
Okay.
reins because we know where the flack is going.
Oh, boy.
He would. I mean, don't even have to lie about it. To be honest.
I appreciate the honesty.
My poll, as it is, I have Ohio State as number 1 team in the country. Miami, I have flipping with Oregon, and then the top 7 stays the same. Miami just got a big win against Florida State. That was the question, or one of the questions we have at least of them at this point. We haven't seen them play on the road. They dominated Florida State on the road, a game Bama struggled in. They did not struggle in that game whatsoever. So I have them moving up to 2. And then, like I said, I keep the top 7 the same. Texas was my 8th team in the country, and they're out after a poor showing against Florida. I wanted to give them a credit for being competitive with my number 1 team in the country, which is why they stayed top 10 for so long. But bad performance against a Florida team that has lost to USF at home as well. Sarkisian this week said that, there's 132 teams in the FBS, put 131 of them at the Shoe and then at the Swamp. How would they do? The last team to win in the Swamp is the USF Bulls. The last team to win in the Shoe is the Davis Warren-led Michigan Wolverines. So I don't know
It's
if
a
that's
pretty poor quote from
necessarily,
him.
Yeah.
that good of a take. I hate that kind of feeling. That's now he has done that. Kirby Smart has done that.
Dabo did it.
Dabo did it. It's not a good look for
We got head coaches in college football being okay with losing.
some of the best head coaches in the country. Yeah, it's just terrible. I hope Dan Lanning doesn't do that at some point if they were to lose a game or lose this weekend to Indiana, which I don't see how a quote could go that way, losing to the Hoosiers at home. But I hate to see it. It's sad to see. But Texas is all the way out, and because of that, a bunch of teams just move up a spot. All these teams won, and no one. A bunch of them were on bye weeks as well. I have Mizzou moving into the top 15. Virginia got a big win over Louisville. They move into the top 16. I have Vanderbilt moving up a spot, and that's because Penn State was ahead of them and then dropped all the way out. And I don't think anyone behind them, besides Virginia and Mizzou, had an impressive enough week. To be honest, I think that they deserve to be where they're at. I thought they were still impressive against Alabama. Late backdoor cover by Bama. Otherwise, that's a close game. They just turned it over in the red zone, and that was really the difference in the game. But they were kind of on par, talent to talent at least, for the most part against Alabama in that entire game, and they deserve to stay where they're at because of that. Notre Dame moves up to 18, Illinois up to 19, Arizona State jumps all the way up to 20, and then I have 5 teams that jump into my ballot that were not on my ballot last week. Washington, like Jack said, I agree. An impressive win at Maryland to go to 4-1 after a loss to Ohio State. BYU's in there, but they haven't played anybody. Nebraska, I have moving in to the top 25. Their only loss is to Michigan. So year 3 Matt Rule is still in effect. They also beat Cincinnati, which is why I have them ahead of Cincinnati. And Cincinnati not in the poll. And then Memphis and USF, the 2 American teams, join in. I wanted to potentially put North Texas, but USF has a win over Florida, and Memphis has a win over Arkansas. That's SEC wins.
Sure.
North Texas does not have that. And so that's why North Texas doesn't hop in with the 3 American teams.
They can fix that if they win this weekend.
Correct.
Yep.
But that does it for my poll. Questions, comments, concerns. No, Ole Miss is not too low.
You have Ole Miss too low, and but that's really my only issue. Sanders,
No, I'm good.
cool.
As it should be. It's a very close poll to Jack's. So
Yeah, nothing
I'd be
too-
surprised.
Nothing too different. Well-
Here is my. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Mine is up. I'm pulling it up on our other screen as well. I think that there will be some criticisms coming, so fire away.
Well, you get to start.
Oh
You-
yeah, I
you
forgot.
wanna
I
explain
forgot.
it,
Yeah,
state
I'll
your
go, ahead,
case.
I'll go ahead and explain.
We can question first if you'd rather that.
No. I'll go ahead and walk y'all through it. Miami gets a big win against Florida State to add to a resume that already includes Notre Dame, South Florida, and Florida. It's the only road win they have currently, but 2 P4 wins if you count Notre Dame as a P4 team, which I think like most people would have them in that tier. Oregon and Ohio State both drop 1 as a result of that. Oklahoma and Texas A&M sit there. Alabama moves up 3 after a win over a team I like a lot in Vanderbilt, jumping Indiana, Texas Tech, and Ole Miss. 2 of the Ole Miss was on a bye. I don't remember about Indiana, Texas Tech. I believe
Texas Tech got a
played
massive
Houston.
win in the cage. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Yes.
Texas Tech gets a huge win against the Houston Cougars, and they drop 1 because Alabama played a better team. Georgia sits there. Georgia Tech moves up. Michigan jumps 6. Some of these moves, so like some of the bigger moves in the teens are just because teams that I had in the teens lost. Teams like Penn State and Texas, who I had both ranked in the teens. Iowa State drops, I think, they dropped to 24 after a loss. Other teams with wins jumped them. So that's why you see some of the bigger movement. Virginia jumps from unranked to 15th. This was a win. After the Florida State game, I had some questions. Could they do it again? They go on the road to an undefeated Louisville team that I liked a lot and get the win. So that's why they kind of see it's almost like they get a double boost because they confirmed after the Florida State win that like they're a good team. So that's why I give them the boost up to 15. Missouri continues to win. Bo Prabula continues to be really good, so they jump all the way up to 17, 6 spots. BYU, Cincinnati, Nebraska, and Old Dominion all join the top 25. Old Dominion is my undefeated shout-out. But also they've got some good players, and
they're not undefeated though.
Not undefeated.
They lost to Indiana.
That's what it was. They had lost to Indiana. So that's why I've got them ranked just for a shout-out to a lesser-known team. And
Sure.
also I've been seeing like some of their players highlighted all over Twitter, so I was like, this is a fun team So I wanted to be able to highlight them with my 25th spot.
Sure. We can just scroll back up to the top first because you're exclusively a resume ranker.
Yeah.
So I don't hate Miami at 1. But then Ohio State, in my opinion, has a much better resume than Oregon because both their big wins took, a hit this past weekend. But Ohio State does have a win at Washington, which is, in my opinion, a better win than any other second win on Oregon's schedule. So it's like if you're going to have Miami at 1, I would have Ohio State at 2 is my issue there.
I'd also argue Oregon's resume took a bigger hit because Penn State lost to UCLA.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Here's what I'll say about that.
With an interim head coach.
And someone that doesn't know how to call plays.
What I will say about that is in the same way you say LSU didn't beat the same Clemson team that we see right now, I don't think Oregon beat the same Penn State team we saw go on the road to UCLA.
But that's not resume then. That's based on you're looking at who was on the field and what the profile of the teams were.
That was also only a week ago.
I think a lot changed in that week. Maybe you disagree, but I think Penn State players and coaching, I think that the losing another big game has gotten to them.
Maybe so. The other big thing is if you'll scroll down a little bit.
Oh, can resume based? Why is A&M not higher?
Because there are other
they won at Notre Dame, so
Yeah.
Miami's best win is hosting Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
A&M does have the number 1 strength of record in the country.
At Notre Dame, they've also beaten 2 SEC teams. Miami's beaten 1 SEC team.
Yeah.
We're getting SEC.
Yeah.
SEC.
No, it is majority resume. But having watched A&M play against Mississippi State, there are, I think, a lot more question marks about the A&M team than the Miami team.
I understand that at a base level, but I think if you peel the layers of the onion, Texas A&M has shown that they can win games multiple different ways.
Yeah.
So
We have no weakness actually. It's just we could our weaknesses are inconsistency.
Yeah.
You don't actually look at a unit of our team and go, "Oh man, that's something other teams can pick on."
No, y'all are great everywhere most of the time. But if you have a week where one position group is bad, where Marcel Reed throws 2 or 3 interceptions,
thankfully,
you
I think
just
that's
win 31-9.
yeah.
I think hopefully that's what Marcel Reed doesn't throw picks normally, so
Yeah.
he may throw 1. I hope if he throws 3 in a game, I'll crash out.
Yeah, Jack, you can continue.
Okay.
You wanted
Scroll,
to scroll?
scroll down a little bit to the early 20s. So Iowa State drops below Cincinnati, right?
Mhm.
Because Cincinnati just beat Iowa State.
Yeah.
But Nebraska beat Cincinnati earlier in the season, and
Uh-huh.
they're neck and neck. So I don't understand Nebraska being behind Cincinnati. You
Forgot.
forgot. Okay, that's what I was curious because it was week 1, but Nebraska has the head-to-head win over Cincinnati.
No, that was just me filling out the 20s and being I want to rank all these teams and
sure.
not
Because
remembering that those teams played in week 1.
both are deserving, in my opinion, of being right around that range, but Nebraska got to be ahead of Cincinnati if you're going to put them back-to-back, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the Old Dominion ranking is potentially your worst ranking ever. Did Utah lost last week, or what happened with them?
Bye, maybe?
They were on a bye.
Yeah.
So they lost the bye week.
At bye, got them.
They were 25th on your poll last week in Old Dominion, and their win over let me find their big win from last week. Sun Belt. Big win over Coastal Carolina.
Huge.
I think I get you're just trying to give a shout to a lesser-known team with 25. We've been known to do that before. But it also just Old Dominion isn't the best group Sun Belt team, in my opinion. It's JMU.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to rank one but not the other, I feel like you got to have JMU ranked and not Old Dominion. But I understand it's just you wanted to give the Monarchs some love. Anything else, JP?
Yeah, Ole Miss is too high.
That's no, they're
I'll go ahead
just
and
not.
solidify that.
As much as I hate it, as much I don't want to rank Ole Miss this high, and I'm they should be higher. I don't know where they are in the AP poll this week, but you have them at 4, Jack.
I have them at 4.
I think that's a little high. I still think that Oklahoma should be ahead of them.
Does Ole Miss have a better resume than Georgia?
Yeah, I would say so. Being like you didn't lose a home game. I think that
Well, Kirby Smart said it's Bama. Everyone loses to Bama, so it shouldn't really count.
that is true. So Georgia's basically undefeated.
Correct.
I think that not losing that home game matters.
Okay.
I shook your hand because you've circled around on Virginia and now have them
Yeah.
in a much better spot compared to unranked last week.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.